Alright, so today we haven't forgotten about that Comtron 40F, which we are looking further into. Very busy. I've got a massive funeral on tomorrow and a lot of music to learn, so I've spent hours practicing. So I've got this York 863, which is in a box, as you can see, and it's immaculate, and unfortunately someone's gone and 80 channeled it, and of course that will have compromised the performance and made it illegal. So what we're going to do is we'll see how well it works as it is without touching it. We're going to leave the customer's mic in there, we'll leave the customer's power lead in there, and we'll use the standard replacements. I just want to get this out of its bag. Not bad for 40 years old. I want the clipboard as well. And here goes the phone. Okay, well, that was the doctor. Had my results from the chest x-ray from a few months ago, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be quite gone yet. Right. Now I've just got this ongoing cough, which I ended up with. I think I ended up with. I had an oral infection, and then I had a chest infection, and then I think I had whooping cough on top of that. So that's why it wasn't very good. Right, so I don't know what the date is today, but we'll soon find out. It's York. That's supposed to be Y. JCB863, and the serial number of this is 1090812. And the other thing to say about 80 channel and the performance not being good, as a radio amateur, I have single band equipment. I don't have things which are multi-band. I wouldn't dream of having 2 meters and 77s on the same radio. I have separate radios. It does work better that way. Right. We're not going to open it up. No, we're going to do a performance test here and now. So we need to plug it into all the test gear. So there's the speaker. I will plug the PA speaker and we'll test that at the same time. I do have, I don't often have these, I've got a power lead on my bench. And we'll connect it up to the Marconi test set using the 2951 as usual. We have, I think we have we got 3 or have we got 4 of these? I've lost count. Oh, I had a 2955 when I was at Nottingham Radio, and it was too slow. The one with the television screen. It's funny that you kind of think you're moving up a model when you're not. It's wait, adjust, wait, adjust, wait, yawn, adjust. Right, we are powered up. I'll get the standard replacement microphone, which just happened to be nestling on one of the 4 SM58 microphones in front of me. No, that's the Maxcom one. That is the Cybernet one. Of course I could put them away, couldn't I? Right, so there we go. This is really very visual not, so we need to make sure. I'm going to have that in mid, we'll have that in normal, channel 9 off. I understand that's the illegal thing. That's in normal, that in CB, that to center, mic gain to full, squelch down, there we go. And we'll start on channel 20. So I'll switch picture in picture on. And I think we'll go to camera 2 first and just look at the frequency. It should be 27.79125. No, it's the other way round. So that's the illegal band. Well, it's not an illegal band, but it is when it's fitted onto a 2781 radio. So if we put that into channel 9, it becomes normal. So it's 2779095. Now this test set has been on for 3 hours. So I wanted to make sure this was all going to be spot on frequency. So I'm going to start with that. 2779095. 2779095 in bracket CEPT band. Let's do that right now. It's 2720517. 2720517. So let's look at that. 20517, it's high in frequency. Go back to UK channels and it's low in frequency. Now it's not noticeably low, it doesn't really matter, but one's out one way and one's out the other way. So they're never on frequency. Let's look at deviation. Voila! Well, it's reading 5 on this test set. I just hope it isn't. Right, let's look at transmit power, and make absolutely sure we're on UK channels. So all these tests now will be, at the moment, going to be on the UK. So I want to look at transmit power. Let's go back to the main meter. So it's doing 3.5 watts. I'm going to be kind and say 3.55. I'm going to go to channel 40. It's doing 3.2. Go to channel 1. It's actually doing 3.9. So let's go to the other set of channels. I'm not going to write this down. Well, I'll tell you what, we will put CPT channel 1 in brackets. It's doing 3.8. Okay. Back to where we should be with the UK set of channels. On channel 20, our current consumption is 1.218, which is absolutely fine. Lower than I'd expect. Let's go to low power. It should be 400 milliwatts. Change scales on the test set. We're now looking at there. It is, for some obscure reason, 710 milliwatts. There's no legal thing about that anymore, but it's best if it's 400 milliwatts as it's supposed to be. We'll no doubt have to do the VCO. So if I go over to, let's go back to full power. If we go over to looking at the meter, and it bangs across to 4, which is fine. Especially says it's 4, whatever it's doing. Psychological. Meter lamp works. Public address.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Absolutely fine. Back to CB. So we know the sockets work. I won't tick those off yet. So now look to the receiver. So I'm going to set the signal generator up exactly the same off frequency to what it is. 2779125. Let's go back to the frequency counter. 2779. There we go. Right, let's have a listen to what we're getting. Well, that sounds fine. Let's go to looking at the meter. We've got 100 microvolts on, so we should have S9. It's reading S8. We need to put a bit more signal on. And from S9, the radio meter is set to 300. 860 millivolts. No, it's not. It's 860 microvolts. So it's kind of being tight. Okay, so let's look at the SINAD reading. It actually looks really good. So we'll switch over to the SINAD meter, which for some reason has gone for a waltz. And we have got what? We've got 0.26. For 10 dB, we've got 0.22. For 20 dB, if it does do it. It's 0.47. Let's check the squelch. Now there's no hard and fast rule on this, but I want it to be on full squelch. I want it to open at 100 microvolts, so it's the same as S9. And it does exactly how it should be. I better put that in. And threshold, set the signal generator to standby, put the squelch on to threshold on the radio, switch the signal generator on, and we've got 0.65, so it's all beautiful. Right, I'm going to waste my time now. I just want to see what the receive sensitivity is like on channel 1 of CPT. So I'm going to reset the test gear at my waste of time expense. For 26965. Alright, I'll switch to its naughty setting. Go to channel 1 and let's see what the sensitivity is. Go back to the SINAD meter. Let's see what the sensitivity is here. So we've got, for 12 dB, we've actually got 0.23. So it's actually better on the CPT band the way they've got this. So anyway, the receive's working great. The transmit isn't balanced, and it's a bit low. I'd really like these sets to do 3.8 watts, and the fact that it's doing 3.9 on channel 1 and 3.8 on CPT tells me it's out of balance. Anyway, I've got to go in here and rip out all the junk that turns it into an 80 channel illegal radio. For those people interested in CPT, if you're not going to buy an approved, CE approved set, or even a PR2794 approved 80 channel set, just have separate radios. But here we can't even use CPT, as we've done time and time again, having to switch channel on the 6 mile test route because of foreign interference, or just noise, S5 of noise, therefore reducing the range. I've got 20 minutes, so, and that's before the doctor rang. Doctor Who? No. Of course, I answered the phone Tango Towers. I could see a confused look even if he was at the end of the phone. It's usually somebody telling me they're going to sell me some kind of insurance against scam phone calls. Well, why don't you stop phoning me, is the usual answer. Because you're the scammer. turn the power off. Oh, it's the piggyback chip, is it? Right, well I better get unsoldering. Right, so for the next part we've got to take the front off, taking the knobs off, taking the front off and put that somewhere really safe, because we've got to get to the wiring of the channel 9 switch. Now I have a York JCB863 in bits here, and this would be a working set if I just put it together, but we keep having to look at the wiring, so it's best to keep this particular one. When I retire I'll put this together and sell it. So it's the third switch along. We've got to look at what those wires are. Maybe easier if I take the tops 2 screws out. We're in Derbyshire on business later on today. I've got 15 minutes, so I thought I'd make a start on this. Might get better to get the switch wide in that time. I'll take the camcorder with me. It's nothing to do with to do with church organs, so I'm not showing any of that footage. We don't do that with customers, but it'd be nice to see if there's the usual swearing or whatever, because we never seem to have anything but swearing, do we? And this video will probably go out well after that one. I'll take these off totally, I think. Or is that... Oh, you can't move that because of the channel selector switch. Okay. So we've got to do it like this. Well, we could also take the switch out. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll take the switch out. I'll just tighten that back up. I don't want soldering iron wires Can't find any dustpan and brushes here, so I think we'll buy 2 while we're out and about. Found half a dustpan here and half a brush in the chapel. We've got Mark coming this weekend, G7NDJ, so hopefully he'll go through some stuff. We've been sent to Midland by one of the viewers, Midland 771165. They're quite different because they're a funny shaped mic, because they're not made by any of the usual people who seem to make sets for Midland's name. They're not Maxon. We'll go inside and see what they are done, and that will be in the future. We've got a couple of D'Amico Convoy chassis from another dealer in Sheffield for doing. He'll put them back together. Oh look, we've got a... Oh, that's that capacitor. So, what else has... Oh, Brandon breaker phone's coming. Yes, so thank you to the person who's kindly sent the Midland 1165 in, and I know he says in his note it's been previously messed with, but I'm sure we'll be able to sort that out. So that's how we've got it now. We can really get to it properly. So, because this isn't connected to its channel selector switch, we can see what wire is supposed to go where. And it'd be very sensible, before I put this back together, and that's to take a photo and keep it on file. So I've got orange, black and yellow stroke white. The thing is that this orange isn't how it should be. Because none of these are going anywhere, we'll take them all off down that row. I'll leave them on down the other row. So we've got to find out where the wires have disappeared to. So the orange one make sure we're on the right switch. Third in, 1, 2, third in from the left. So it's this one. So it's orange with a white tracer, that's what the stripe's called. And it goes there. So orange with the white tracer goes to there. And then we've got absolutely nothing. So I'll see what scrap sets we can pull some orange wire out, but I won't have one with a yellow tracer. We do have reels of wire. There we go. Got an orange wire out of a genuine Amstrad. How about that? Right, we'll leave it at that for now. Okay, so we're back with you. Oh, I think it's 2 days later. Just come back from Derbyshire trip. There'll be a bit of a video of that. Nothing to do with CB, but we've got the CB on. Could listen to people swearing. So we've got the front off this. We've got the channel 9 switch now saying channel 9 and being somewhere near. That's been rewired. So I've not put the switch in. I'll come back to you. Okay, back to record. Right, I've got a bit of a snag with the display. I've got it not displaying things as it should, but we'll come back to that. I'll do the tune-up. I'll have to open up one of our own demonstration sets. Right, VCO. Oh, I need to be able to do channel 1 and channel 40 for that. Well, that's something else we'll come back to. We're on channel 20, so magic, I can count them down, can't I? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Check that's 1. Yes, it is. So the next one's 40. It is. Right, the test set's been on, or no, we'll do it on channel 20. We'll do the VCO. So on channel 40, we'll put this on the earth strap, wherever I've put the crocodile clips. There's the one. I like using red ones for earth. Resistor 4 for the test point. Should have 3 volts. Got 2.4, it should be 4 volts, sorry. So bring that up to 4. Going to transmit. 4 volts, back to receive 4 volts. I'll just drop that a fraction. Back to transmit 3.8, back to receive 3.8. That's a good start. And it's now 3.8 plus. Let's go to the other end of the scale. Channel 40 is our next test. Yep, that's definitely on channel 40. Tell you what, we'll put the insect picture with the frequency counter. So 27.9. Oh, that's one out, isn't it? One should be 60125. There we go, channel 1. And we want between 1.7 and 2.3, something like that. So that's our receive, 2.1, and there's our transmit, 2.14. So that's fine. Just put it on frequency. On channel 20, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Spot on 27, 79125, here we come. Going to keep it very slightly high because they drop with age. So 27,79125. So before it was low on frequency for UK channels, and the illegally added CPT channels were high. Not that it was that far out to be bothersome. Go through the transmitter. So we need to be on channel 20, which is where we are. Let's put that meter away. We're done with that now. I've ended up being a week on this set with all the other things I've had to do in between. 27,79125. So we're definitely on channel 20. Let's go over to the main meter. And we want the centre of the peak, which is there. Centre of the peak, which is there. Centre of the peak, which is there. I'll get my other little toolkit out. We want the blue tool. We need to put these to maximum temporarily. So we're at 3.9 watts. So that needs to go to absolute maximum. That was already maximum. So back to that peak. This needs to be a maximum for a moment. So that's now about 5.2. And then this needs to be maximum as well as a temporary thing. And again we've got about 5.2. Just run through those again. Of course all the time the set's getting hotter, the power drops. Legality aside, don't leave them at full whack or the set will soon be no more. So this yellow one is clockwise for 4.4 watts. Well, we can't quite get 4.4. Did I say 5 at any point? I meant 4.2. So we need to turn it clockwise so that we just start to get a reduction. We need to turn this one anti-clockwise until we get it down to 4 watts. The service manual says 3.8 watts, but you're allowed 4 watts. We'll have the maximum rather than what they say. They have to get it through customs, we don't. So I'm going to have to check 1 and 40. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And on channel 40 we've got 4.02. The next channel should be 1. It is. Got 3.98. So that's needs to be really be better than 0.1. Well, it's a lot better than 0.1 between 1 and 40. So that's really good result. So that's that done. I want to make sure the meter reads 4 when we press transmit. Which it now does. And I want low power to be 0.4 of a watt, not 0.7 something. Just give that a quick spray. There we go, 0.4. Let's come back to that. 0.4. So that is 400 milliwatts. We've done the meter, and the current consumption on full power, when I hit the right switch, is 1.18. So we've actually brought the current consumption down. We've brought the power up and the current consumption down because it's balanced properly. Deviation. So we're going to have to go over to the test set. We'll do that right away. Wow, it's 4.5, so that definitely needs to be corrected. That needs to come down to the center position. That is where we're going to adjust it now. Wallow, wallow, testing 1, 2, wallow. Are we at full mic gain? No, we're not. Wallow, wallow, wallow. That's better. See what the deviation meter says on the Marconi test set. Wow, like it says 2.5, the same, so it's not lying today. So it was 5. Just talk on one channel either side as well, you know. So it's 2.2 to 2.5. I don't think these people have a deviation meter, you know. I think they have a Fidelity 1000, or the mate's got one. And they go, oh, does it sound better now? Do I sound louder? Yeah, you do. Yeah, right, okay. Right, let's move ourselves over to the receiver. Make sure we've got all the switches in the right position. I reckon so. Right, 277925 on the signal generator. There we go. Right, so we'll start with 100 microvolts on the signal generator. We'll put the oscilloscope onto the inset picture. We haven't even got the inset picture on, have we? My error this time. A bit more volume. And we need to check we've got maximum recovered audio from the detector. And the answer is not quite. We have now drop it to 1 microvolt, and on the fine attenuator we want about 4 or 5 dB on the SINAD meter, which is now wandering off the screen, but not now. Gained a little tiny bit there. I'm not expected to gain much because it was already very good. Bit more signal on for the IF. Fraction there. No, I can't really see much of a change there. Let's see what we've got on it as a new figure. So for 12 dB, we've got 0. Oh, that's the wrong scale. Got 0.21. It has come down. For 10 dB, it's just under 0.2, but we changed scales. It'll give me initially a funny reading. I'll show you. So on the next scale, it says it's 0.21. So there's a bit of overlap there where we lose accuracy. So back to the normal scale. For 20 dB, we've now got 0.4. So it probably receives another few feet now. So let's put 100 microvolts on the signal generator so we can set the meter. I think it was a bit generous before. In actual fact, it's bang on. So that's come right in the alignment. If it was it right before? No, it wasn't. It was. Just be absolutely sure. That's absolutely spot on. Squelch. We want to put the squelch to full on the radio. it opens at 100 microvolts, which is correct. So we don't need to adjust the squelch, which is there. It's spot on. So at the other end, we'll just check the squelch sensitivity. So signal generators on standby, turn the squelch on the radio to threshold, signal generator back on. It's coming in at 0.82. That's correct. The pots are okay. We don't know where we are with the switches. Channel 9 rewired from illegal 80 channel modification. Right, I'll have to, behind the scenes it will be running on to yet another day, and let's just hope I've got enough minutes to finish this off because it's been on the bench all week. Okay, it's now Friday. It's time to bring this to a close. We've been doing it since Monday, but I've had so much on, what with massive funerals and that, and I'm not out of the woods as far as church goes either, because I've got a wedding tomorrow. But we've got a pile of repairs come in, and I do like to get them done in a timely manner. Did have to change some wiring over. The orange one's there, the yellow one's there. I had to use, we've got a Barracuda HP940 here. I've taken the covers off to do the comparisons because I needed something with a channel 9 switch. So I've had the channel 9 switch out. If you have checked the wiring on that, it's still there. So brown, white, zoom in a bit. So we've got brown, white and grey. I'm saying them the wrong way around, aren't I? So our brown wire goes to this pad here. Our grey wire goes to this pad here. Grey and brown. And if we turn the switch over, I'll tell you what, I'll turn the radio round so we're not turning the switch round. We've got the yellow with the white tracer, we've got a black wire, and we've got the orange wire on this pole. And when we turn the set round and look at the display board, we've got that orange wire to there and the yellow wire to there. So that's what I've had to do because I just wasn't quite sure, and I hadn't got a display on normal. It was working on 9 but not on normal if you saw the tune-up video. So hopefully we're right now. I'll power the set back up, let's put the camera back to its normal position, and we can just finish off that VCO and say hello good buddies, anybody out there, which it won't be. So we don't need the SINAD meter plugging in. Done all that. We'll just use the extension speaker on the wall. Power lead. And this can go back to a happy bunny customer. I'll get the knobs back on. Again. I'm putting them in the same sequence that they came off. In other words, I'm not modelling the knobs up in case there is slight wear on any particular knob. Good. Right, power up, channel 20, squelch down, switch to channel 9, channel 9. Now we'll put the mic in and check it really is channel 9. Next question, where did I put the mic? Is that the mic? No. Right, power on. Clean all the printed circuits. We're on channel 9. And switch the other camera on. Picture in picture on. And we're looking for 2768125. There we are. So that is channel 9. Switch to channel normal, which is 20. Should have 2779125. And we have. Good. Right, we'll do that VCO, which we weren't able to do without the channel display. There's your channel display. I'm turning mic gain. Oh yeah. Dimmer doesn't do anything. What have they done to that? I never thought about that being disabled. Something else to look into, isn't it? There, I thought we were done. Right, VCO. I'll select channel 40. I just can't remember whether we did it. I mean, it's 5 days ago. It's a quick check. I've got a sneaking suspicion we did, you know. 3.9, transmit. That's out. I'm sure I did it though. Okay, so that's near enough. 4 on transmit, 4 on receive, check channel 1, 2.15 on receive, and 2.14 on transmit. So there we go. Right, so instead of buttoning it up, we'll see why the dimmer isn't working. So the voltage regulator, if I remember rightly, is on the subboard here for the display. Unless they've shorted out, yeah, they've shorted out the potentiometer down there. So you've got an orange wire and a red wire, and they're both being shorted together. Let's just check with our demonstration offsetting bits. So we're looking at, yes, so the orange wire is to the right, the red wire is in the middle. Right, we'll turn the power off again. It would have been easy to do this, of course, when I had the front off. A screwdriver ready to push those terminals apart as soon as the soldering iron warms up. Push the wires apart. Hey! So I didn't spot that first time round, did I? Okay. So that's done. Right, we're getting the lids on it. So you'll see I've done isopropyl on that board, which has previously been messed with, as well as my work, and I've done all around this wiring, and around, there's been some soldering there and around there, so that looks a bit more smart. So I'll put the first screws in relatively loosely because there's a bit of latitude for the case fit. Oh, there is one thing I've noticed before I put that on. I only seem to have got 4 screws for the escutcheon, so I don't know whether I've gone and dropped them on the floor so they'll never be seen again, or whether they weren't there. But what we're going to do is I'll borrow a couple out of my Barracuda for now. When I was at Nottingham Radio, I did have a box. I did actually order some of these, but I think we get enough scrap AM sets in to not have to order them. So whether they were there or not, they are there now. So we're going to do an on-the-air test with this tonight. I've got Mark here this weekend, G7NDJ, and he's had a brilliant idea. We're going to go out with the usual test, Mr. Chippy. We're also going to have Mark following Mr. Chippy in Mark's own car. Now Mark's got a lease hire car, so he can't drill holes in it. So he's got, not mag mounts, but boot lip mount type of aerials, and it'd be interesting to see how Mark's car performs with a perfectly working radio. I think he's got a CRT mic in there at the same time, so when Mr. Chippy calls through and says he's at Scratchy Corner, Mark will follow saying he's at Scratchy Corner, and so on. We'll get to the 5 mile point and we'll do that. Well, the other thing that Mark's decided is because we've now done the Nissan Almera with an aerial and Thunderpole 3000. You'll all have seen the video for that. With that set, one of the 2 kindly donated by East Antrim CBers. What we're going to do the next day, get another repair done. When we do the on-the-air test for that one, we're going to go out, instead of Martin driving his own car, he'll drive the Nissan Almera, and so that'll be side by side with the Nissan Leaf test car, and we'll just make sure that it performs a similar manner. But of course, even parked 6 feet away can be totally different performance. Could be better, could be worse. It differs so much with trees and so on. So two interesting on the air test, starting with the Tonight one. So Mark, he's got a Nissan Juke, and say it's a lease hire, so he'll be on a gutter mount. The set's been properly serviced, so it's going to be a fair test, but usually those kind of aerial arrangements are quite a compromise. It's sometimes all you can do with cars that you don't own. Right, so we've got this splendid set, now restored to factory, but properly adjusted, so it's doing a full 4 watt output, and the receive is absolutely super duper. I'm just going to do a final check on power, and I'll knock the volume control with my fat tummy. Low power, that's fine. High power, it's fine. Unplug the extension speaker. And let's have a flick round. Oh, RF gain up to full, mic gain up, dimmer, squelch, normal. Let's check that works. 19er Roger. Nobody out. Oh, we're still on the test instrument. I'm not going to get a Roger off the test instrument unless we're within about 20 feet. Right, try again. One 19er Roger. Bit of something. A Roger. Right, well there's nothing to be Roger. So we're doing that on the air test later on. And that has worked out as a splendid set for the customer. Thanks for watching York 863 demodification and sorting out and optimization.